Hello stars, quick notice before we hop into the video. This episode explores a mature theme, and if you're not comfortable with that, I would suggest skipping this video. But you have been warned, and there's like several other warnings in the video before it even gets too risque. But if you're chill, enjoy the video and let's get on with it. Hello stars, my name is Blue and today we're lost in Hiveswap Friendsim. Last time we left off, we made friends with Nikki, the bodybuilder, who has so much ambition. Oh my god. Oh my god. What? We're not on that! I'm excited for that. I didn't realize that was gonna pop up. I see you. So we're on volume 18 of Endings Mini. You crash landed onto a planet called Alternia. You staggered from the wreckage of your ship. You were desperate for information, for improvisations, and possibly a bit of medical attention, but most of all, you were desperate for friendship. Is what you could say if you were written by a bunch of hacks who cared about the Australian idea of narrative unity. Possibly you could make some reference to a circle being complete in a thoughtless and imbecilic manner. I need to put my phone on silent so that way it doesn't interrupt my recording. But we're all in this together, right? And we've all learned and grown enough to know that there's something deep and dark and absurd brewing beneath the surface. This really isn't about friendship anymore, is it? You've got friends. Now you need answers. You need... Oh, god damn it. This was just the intro screen. I'm not going to try to pronounce this beautiful person's name. We're just gonna call him Lan. Twins! Oh, they're cute. Okay, let's go with Lan. LB. LB! Yeah. Initials, because that's exactly what I go on all the time. LB. What's next on the docket? Oh, you're really feeling like going completely off the rails. So, it's a good thing the first person to ping you on your palm husk is Lynn. That nutty bitch is exactly the sort of destabilizing influence your life needs right now. Turn this down a little bit. Hello! My friend! Because that's what we are now. Friends! Cool. That's not a weird way to talk to someone. You're really loving this one. You're not sure what it is, but you're positive whatever crackpot capper this loopy troll is about to rope you onto is going to be a real humdinger. There's a sense of finality in the air. You can taste it. Lynn does you the courtesy of listening to you say all the shit up without getting super put off by how much of a freak you are. Listen up. So I was thinking, since us becoming friends has worked out so well, I'm starting to think maybe it'd be a good idea to give making more friends another shot after all, I guess. That's what I was thinking. So there's this party I was invited to. You see, the fellow Jades in my cloister always sneak out to go to these things. You gently suggest to Lynn that she should hurry it the fuck up. Okay, so I'm nervous to go. And I want a friend to come with me, okay? Is that so crazy? No? You don't think it's crazy at all? You think that sounds fantastic, actually. You don't ask for any details because who gives a shit? MC is going off the rails. You show up on the block. We're not going to talk about how you got there or whatever because it's just a waste of time. You're just there. Lynn's meet up with you too. Lynn mentioned there might be some dancing, so you decided to really dress up for the occasion. Oh man, you went fucking nuts. You're wearing a cape and chip, But also like fishnets, maybe a sexy bra if that's your thing. Whatever you happen to drudge out of the dumpster or another. Honestly, you can imagine whatever you want here. But no, it's complete bullshit and you look like a total slut. Lynn isn't wearing anything special because we would have had to pay someone to redraw our sprites. What is with the satirical nature of this episode? From the looks of it, you're heading over to somebody's hive party? You're rolling up on some kind of joint that, from past experience, you can now summarize as alien domicile. It's pretty big, and maybe belongs to someone on the blue end of the spectrum. Back here again. Is this the block here? Was this the block just where all the jade-blooded schoolgirls love to get down and dirty? It hits you like a bucket of ice when you realize whose hive you're walking straight towards this time. It's our Dada's hive. Oh, that's just great! Your friend our Dada. Boy, do you love our Dada. Can't wait to see her again! And my family is coming home, so the dogs are going crazy, so try to ignore them. That is almost off the screen. As you approach, you can immediately tell what kind of deal they have going on here. You can hear the tunes bumping from all the way down the block, and when you get near enough to see, there are obviously a bunch of teens passed out drunk on the lawn. This is a full-blown frat house rager. Definitely doesn't seem like Lynn's sort of scene. That's because it isn't! Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm doing this. You kinda can't either. You're not even in the front door and you already feel the sweat pouring out of your armpits. This is going to be so much fun! You pass all the smashed lawn teens and go up to the knock on the front door. You have to rap on it a few times until the telltale sound of clicking heels faintly reaches your ears. The door opens and you discover that the gracious hostess is standing on the other side is none other than your best friend, our Dada! Woohoo! I can't tell if that's actual excitement or like sarcasm. She looks surprised to see you only for a moment before her face resolves into a wicked grin. My. Look what the pervy's dragged in. Back for more so soon, my sweet. You're not actually sure how much time has passed since you last ran into our Dada, but it doesn't feel like it can be described in any metric by soon. You've been physically savaged so many times since then, you're not even sure what you're blocking out, though. You tell our Dada that you're really glad to see her because you totally are. You tell her you weren't expecting her to be hosting a party, though. Oh, I don't know if I'd call it a party. More of a friendly kickback of sorts. Sort of exclusive, really. All the world's finest influencers are here. How exactly did you hear about my little shindig? Well, I certainly consider you to be one of my finest friends. I don't recall inviting you. You gesture vaguely to Lynn. She doesn't seem to know how to lie and immediately cracks under the pressure. One of the other Jades from my cloister told me to come. His name is LB. LB. His name is LB. But I don't think he was invited either. I get the impression we kind of always come out here. Basically, we're crashing, if that's okay. Well, of course! What's an informal soiree without a few entirely uninvited interlopers? Oh boy. Lynn doesn't seem to know if she's being sarcastic or not. And you aren't sure if she is either. To be honest, you're like, are you fucking with us? And she's like, ho ho ho, ma ha ha, or whatever. Of course not. I just have one question for you, my dears. Our Dada beckons you near. You obey her slavishly. Then she leans in close to your ear and intones. Oh god. Do you hereby certify under penalty of law that you are of age to view adult content within your state of legal residence and have acknowledged the contents of this volume accompanying mature content description and are comfortable with the prospect of engaging with challenging and otherwise controversial fictional material? Should I? Okay, should this be going on YouTube? That's good to hear. Why don't you come right in then, my dear? This is very uncomfortably close. I don't want to see you making any little post online about how my party was too fucking problematic for you, though. Ardetta steps back and welcomes you again into her abode with generous structure. Fancy words. You were very, very excited for Ardetta's party, and know definitely that you will enjoy absolutely every second of what she has in store for you. Once you stepped past the threshold, Ardetta blows you a toxic kiss and saunters off to mingle with her enthusiastic Whoa. Whoa. The first thing that hits you once you're in the door is the music. It's a solid wall of bass that reverberates through your body down to your bones. The intense dance track is blasting so loud you can hardly hear yourself think. It has to be this loud to drown out all the shouting coming from the living room. As you apprehensively advance, it becomes quickly clear that Lynn is completely out of her element here. She's a bundle of nerves beside you, practically glued to your hips. When you actually step into the living room, she physically attaches herself to your arm. Wow, this is more than I was expecting. You too. It's a scene of absolute chaos. The living room of the house is filled to the brim with rowdy teens dancing rhythmlessly to the pounding music. The furniture has all been knocked over or otherwise destroyed, and you can make a pretty good guess of what's filling the red cups you see in everyone's hand. That was a weird accent to go into. You're about to tell Lynn you wouldn't blame her if she wants to dip, but you can't get the words out before you're being flagged down by a jade-blooded boy who's just muscled his way out of the throng of partygoers with a few of his friends in tow. So this is Lan. LB? Lan. I'll probably end up switching it over and over. Who cares? Lynn, you made it! Lynn all but flings herself away from your body and freezes like a scared animal as the troll approaches. For all the commotion and ruckus, he's still remarkably well put together. The vigorous dance huddle doesn't seem to have disturbed his sharp makeup or his impeccably coiffed hair? Fancy word, hair. There is a curious red stain down the front of his white shirt, though. He has a slutty-looking indigo-blooded girl on his right arm and an even sluttier-looking teal-blooded boy on his left, though he shakes them off and waves them away by the time he reaches you and Lan at the entryway to the room. Hi, Lan. Yeah, I'm here. You watch with amusement as Lynn practically bursts into flames under his gaze. Goddamn. Gaze, brain. It only gets worse when he saddles up to give her a startlingly intimately embrace. She squeaks and tries to hug him back, but is too timid to actually touch him with her hands. You can see sweat pouring down her face. After a solid 5 seconds that seems to include Lan smelling Lynn's hair, he pulls back to smile down at Lynn with a heavy gaze. God damn, we're starting it all over again. Lynn's face is bright green and her eyes are bugging out of her skull from how flustered she is. But she's not into it, you don't think. It's hard to tell, but you kind of get the impression he'd be dead by now if she weren't. Either way, it's awkward. Lucky for Lynn, Lan doesn't seem to notice or doesn't care. He settles into a comfortable, for him, posture with his arm casually around Lynn's waist and turns to you. Oh, who's this? This is my, friend? Yeah! Lan quirks an eyebrow. You have friends? The question seems to leave Lynn speechless, so Lan takes the opportunity to look back at you. His eyes rake up and down your body in a way that leaves you feeling distinctively objectified. I don't like that. Oh, aren't you interesting? Is there a reason you look like that? What a question. He doesn't explain what that is specifically referring to. And given both your alien status and state of dress, it could mean any number of things. You might take it as an insult if not for the way he licks his lips after he says it. No! He can't seem to pry his eyes off of you. You look at Lynn for a cue, but she's too out of it to give you any sort of intelligible sign. So you explain how you crash landed on this planet with an indeterminate amount of time ago. And you really don't know what you're doing or much of anything about anything. The fact of your appearance could be due either to this or that you're generally a disaster of a being in retrospect of your planetary origin. How fascinating. I've never met an alien before. Well, you have, lots of times. In fact, literally everyone and everything here is an alien to you. You find the word diarrhea becoming more and more awkward and embarrassing as Lan's eyes starts burning a hole in the center of your chest. Hey, my eyes are on my head. There's no need to be so shy. I don't bite until asked. Oh, stop it. Please stop it. Predator! Lan disconnects himself from Lynn as he rounds on you. It's like he's lost any interest in her existence now that you're in front of him. Lynn looks at you with a completely pathetic expression that readily informs you as to what your response needs to be. You'll be damned if you aren't going to be the best wingman possible, so you definitely ignore Lan's blatant pass and turn the conversation back to Lynn. You ask Lan how long he and Lynn have known each other. Lan raises his eyebrows at the question. Well, I suppose since she was chosen for the cloister. Some number of sweeps ago. I don't remember really. It was 2.43 sweeps. Right, then that many, I guess. Huh, that's a pretty long time actually. I'm so used to taking dialogue cues from a different person due to the color change, but the color isn't changing anymore, so I need to read who's talking. Yeah. And also the quips help, but pretty impressive that you managed to go a solid 2.4 of them without saying a single word to me that wasn't circulated to me secondhand from your snide gossiping behind my back. Wow. Talk about whiplash. Lynn's eyes get big like saucers. What? What are you? I don't know what you're talking about. The tone of the conversation has totally morphed from fire to ice in an instant. Though neither Lan's expression nor demeanor have changed much, he slips in the knives with all the calm composure of a casual statement. What, are you going to pretend you didn't spend the better part of the past 2.5 sweeps complaining about how much I disgusted you? Come on now. You do know that everyone is aware of your nasty little bitch, right, Lynn? I mean, don't take it the wrong way. I really don't mind. I'm hardly in the position to criticize. I was just curious what caused the sudden change of heart after so long decrying my vain and slanderly lifestyle. Have the impending ordeals finally made the little cloak start to trickle down into that dry, dusty nook of yours? Did you figure I was the only one who might be loose enough to willing to clean out the cobwebs before you get shipped off to space and never have a chance again? Oh. I know what he's talking about. Just wondering. There's a long, excruciating moment where Lynn says nothing. She just stares up at Lane beside her with complete shell-shocked expression, but before you can try to pipe in Lynn's defense, she burst into tears. Oh no. When Lynn suddenly turns and makes a mad dash to run out the door and away from the party, you're torn between running after her and giving the jerk a real piece of your mind. Your mind is made up when you look back at Lan just in time to catch him rolling his eyes. Hey, you say, that was kind of rude, don't you think? Lan snorts. Me? Rude? Perhaps you're attempting to fuck with me. Clearly you haven't spent much time around this bitter pill if you think that was anything short of precisely what she deserves. You can see that you maybe don't have a full enough grasp on J-Boyd cloister social dynamics to make definitive judgments on whether or not Lynn deserved to have been ruinously owned. But she's your friend, and what good are you if you don't stick up for the people you care about? I have no idea what even got her so upset. Like I said, it's not like I really care what she says about me, but you don't have to spend as much time as she does being a villainous little snake and act surprised when someone calls you out on it. Then why did you invite her, you ask? It seems needlessly cruel of Lan to lead her on under false pretenses, if he never intended to be her friend at all. I promise you I had no such designs. The only reason I even invited her to this thing is that my ex is being a real blood-sucking bitch and no one else wanted to go. I was willing to give her an honest shot, but I've no time for a vicious, slandering nag who can't even admit what she is. I thought I might be interested to see what that crusty little shrew might be like if you could manage to wrest her bulge free of whatever excruciating knot she's got it tied into. But I guess now we'll never know. Well, this is clearly a conversation you're going to have to Switzerland out of pretty soon. What? You try to explain the historical significance of Switzerland's political neutrality on your home planet. Lan's eyes glaze over like he's listening to you recite a sports almanac of cricket stats. That's nice. Anyway, since I have scared away my date, why don't you stay a while so you and I can get to know each other a little better? You seem much more interesting than she is, anyway. Oh, oh my god. Can you not get so close? First our data, now you. Back up. Does anybody know what personal space is? When did Lan get so close to you? Your heart beats a little faster when he smiles at you like that, so poisonous and shamelessly laced with intent. Lynn is definitely not the only one coming off like a snake here. I've no time to waste than most, my dear. Never seen the value in beating around the bush. Well, maybe it'd be socially prudent for you to go after Lynn and make sure she's okay. But it's also not her volume of friendship. A Friendsim. So instead of doing that, you're going to stick around and see what this spectacularly brief prima donna is all about. You had your fucking chance to bail out of this shit show, but all that's left to do now is barrel downhill as metaphorically as you can manage. Fantastic. Care to dance? Why the fuck not? Lan laughs presently and reaches out to take you by the hand. The contact gives you a little thrill despite yourself. He's got nice hands. Soft and warm and well taken care of. And you know it's going to be one hell of a ride wherever he's taking you. Come with me. You do. He doesn't lead you straight to the dance floor though. He takes you around the throng of dancing partygoers over to the kitchen of the house first. You weren't expecting to find a familiar face waiting for you there. Hey, Elward! Fancy meeting you here. You don't find that surprising, honestly. You two know each other? You could say that. That's just great. Do you give discounts to friends? I sure freaking don't. You know the price, pretty boy. Pay up. You're a little confused. What exactly is being purchased here? Elbert gives you a funny look. You a drone? What? Hush. You do as you're told and watch Lynn and Elbert carry out their shady transaction. Lan hands over the credits and receives an opaque little baggie of something in return. Oh, well, you guess you don't really need to see what's in the thing to figure out what it is at this point. As soon as the deal is done, Lan has his hand at the small of your back and is definitely guiding you away from the scene of the crime. Is buying drugs a crime here? You aren't really well versed in the laws of Alternia, but it honestly doesn't really seem like anybody would give much of a shit about anybody doing drugs out here. You guess the clandestine transactions are just for the aesthetic. Lan Lan's got you back in the shady corner of the party and pressing one of the tablets he brought into the hand with a slight grin. He expects you to join him. You're like, hold on a minute. Your experiences with alien drugs haven't really been that great, honestly, and you're not sure you're excited to repeat performance. Lan's immediate response is to sneer. Oh, I see. You're one of those people. One of what people? You know, a bit boring, maybe. I'm not going to be peer pressured into taking drugs. MC, don't do it. There are many words that could be used to describe you, but you don't think boring is a remote contender. You're always doing all kinds of unbelievably stupid shit and getting into uncountable, wacky, and life-threatening situations. Is it really that fucking much to ask for there to be one time you didn't rush headfirst into doing something you know is going to fuck you up and be totally awful? Lan's lips pressed into a then annoyed line. These things aren't cheap, you know. I bought them for you. Well, you didn't ask him to do that, did you? Oh, come on, you're really gonna be like this? Yeah, you totally are. Lan sighs dramatically. Fine. Oh, he knows our inner circle. He knows who we're friends with. He's doing this on purpose. The bitch. Lan casts around for the nearest victim and grabs his attention with a hand around his wrist. To your dismay, it's your sweet, innocent, hot dog chum, Diamond. Alas, there's nothing you can do to stop him from falling prey to Lan's wicked designs. Here, have these. Oh yeah, great! Thanks, I love to put drugs on my weed. No, Diamond. What a tragedy, but before you know it, Lan has a hold of you again, dragging you off. Let's just dance. You're not too much of a square to do that, are you? Of course not. Dancing is basically one of the things you actually plan to come here and do, so that's just great. You go along with Lan enthusiastically when he pulls you over to the writhing mass of bodies bumping and grinding on the dance floor. Please stop. You get down to it. You soon discover that Lan has a very interesting dance style. And by interesting, you mean it primarily consists of directly grinding his body against yours in an incredibly shameless fashion. But pressed in as you are from all the sides by sweaty and inebriated bodies, there's not exactly much room for a troll genius to begin with. It's like every school dance ever. Leave room for Jesus. Hands to yourself. Lan is up on you so close it's hard not to sweat. He has his hands on your hips and your face fixed with sharp eyes. His heavy stare is nearly hypnotic, so blatant and undisgusted in his expression. It's clear what he wants, and maybe that's more than you're prepared to give. But when he looks at you like that, it's impossible to look away. You just go with it. Why not? It feels good, and it's not like anyone else is watching. You're surrounded by trolls, boxed in, and pouring sweat, and yet it feels like you're the only two people there. Lan draws in, teeth by your ear, and this close you can hear him easily, even over the overwhelming pound of the bass. You have the palest skin I've ever seen. Yeah, you tell him that you're literally FY. Which is like, blank. Me in real life. And that makes you super racially inoffensive, FYI. You let Lan know that he can see you any way he wants, which is even more woke than making a decision. Thin as paper, I can see all the way inside you. All your veins and your red blood. You smell like candy. I wonder how you taste. Stop it. Stop it! Predator! Where's the whistle? Well, you say that's like some shit a vampire would say. Presuming I'm a rainbow drinker, that'd be awfully reductive and a literal reading of my character. I'm just making a blatant sexual pass. Oh, okay, good thing that's all cleared up. You take this as an opportunity to really let loose, showing off everything you've got in a sexy dance acumen department. Lan is a little bewildered. What are you doing? You're like, what aren't I doing? There's a fire on the dance floor and you struck the match. You're just fucking it up in here. Really getting it. Breaking it down. Bopping and crumping and whatever. You're smashing your ass into everyone around you. Getting hot and heavy with those lusty moves. There's a point where Lan has to step back. You presume to properly behold your art in all its glory. But soon it becomes clear that it's not your progenious dance skills that have given him pause. You follow his startled gaze to see the cause of the alarm. Bronya is here, and she looks pissed. Oh shit. Bronya is standing in the entryway contending with Ardata. It seems like she hasn't even caught sight of you yet, but Lan isn't wasting any time. Before you realize what's happening, Lan has you by the wrist and is hauling you away from the dance floor and off down the hallway. Lan finds the safety in a bedroom. Ritzblock, you remind yourself. And you take the stock of conspicuous absence of any bed in the presence of the revolting-looking Sly and Cooper Coon, which trolls allegedly spend their repos. You hold each other in a tense, nervous silence pressed against the locked door. What feels like an eternity passes, your breath held. The sound of your blood rushing through your own ears is almost enough to drown out the music. Seconds turn into minutes and nobody finds you. It seems, for now, you've escaped Bronya's notice. When you turn your head to look back at Lan, you see he's been staring at you for some time. I need to put, like, a wording on this. You haven't been able to take your eyes... Nope, this is not narrating voice. I haven't been able to take my eyes off of you since the moment I first saw you. You're just so interesting. You freeze like hair staring down a snake. Lan lifts a hand to brush a thumb across your cheek, hands curling under your chin. Well, this was coming sooner or later. You meet his eyes. His pupils are so black. I want to know what it'd be like to kiss you. Lan's tongue darts out between his painted lips. Do you want to kiss me? Whoa. Whoa. You've already clicked on at least 2 mature content disclaimers to get this far. Why the hell not? And there's going to be a 3rd one at the beginning of this video! Lan leans in and presses his lips against yours. His kisses are much more sweetly than he looks. His lips are soft and wet and taste like blackberries. This beats making out with a couple of greasy teens behind a dumpster, that's for sure. When one of his sharp fangs nicks your bottom lip, you don't even care. But when a drop of your blood beads onto his invasive tongue, Lan draws back just an inch. You taste sharp and dangerous, like a weapon. Is that a good thing? It's not a bad thing. Lan pulls back further. His hands slip from your cheek. His fingers trailing down your neck to rest on your collar. Thumb brushes against the thrum of your pulse. Have you ever paled before? Oh boy. Lan shrugs off his jacket and starts unbuttoning his shirt. Whoa, 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 whoa. Is this really gonna go there? You're like, well, no. You've never done any... Don't... No. I don't like this music, it's not helping! You've never done any alien intercourse with a bucket, but it doesn't look like he even has one on him at the moment. That's apparently the wrong thing to say because Lan's face scrunches up in displeasure. Don't mock me. It's my first time. You figure laughing would constitute mocking him, so you don't, but the look you give him seems to say enough. Us jades who live in cloisters have been chosen for a very special duty. We're expected to adopt chaste and ascetic life in service of the continuation of our species. And when we undergo our ordeals and are sent off-world, there's no such thing as sneaking out of caverns. If I don't do this now, when? My life is nearly over. Will you help me feel alive? Before you can even answer, Bronya's voice starts to rise shrill above the heavy music. Lan! Lan's hands shoot out at lightning speed to draw you close. Before you so much as gasp, he presses his palm over your mouth to keep you quiet. Oh shit, she's close. From the sound of it, she's getting closer. Lan! I know you're here! You need to come out and come home right now! Lan leans in close to your ear. Shh. What will you do? Honestly, as much as I've been cringing over here, keep quiet. You want to see where this goes, because I really do want to see where this goes. Call in his mom. This has gotten problematic enough. You keep your mouth shut and wait for Bronya to pass. She only shouts for a little longer before the sound of her voice fades away. There are too many blocks in this hive for her to be trying to break down the door of everyone, and she didn't look too closely at this one. You've lost her. When it becomes clear that Bronya's gone for good, Lan lets his hands fall from your lips. You feel him smile against your ear. Where were we? You turn in Lan's arms and look up into his blazing eyes. How can he alien pale without a bucket? I don't mind doing it without one. Sometimes it can be fun to get a little messy, don't you think? You're like, weren't you just saying this was your first time? Lan answers with another kiss. This time he means business. I don't know if it passed fast because I accidentally Oh my god. Boo! You go all the way with this super slutty alien and you slump out on the ground completely wasted. Maybe this all went kind of off the rails, but you have to admit it would be a real shame if you got through this entire extraterrestrial adventure and never got smashed to a single alien. What would be the fucking point, honestly? This guy really did a whole number on you. You're lying spread eagle on the floor as Lan is putting his clothes back on. Man, this is probably the most accomplished friendship to date. I don't know if you can call this a French. You're not quite ready to move just yet, but since you and Lan are such good chums now, you figure it's a good time as any to ask for his chitter. Lan seems surprised to even hear you speak. Huh? You want to add me on chitter? Yeah, you say. Isn't that what friends do? Oh, sorry, I can't. My palm husk is broken right now. He's totally brushing you off, man. Lan says while typing furiously away on his palm husk. He doesn't even look at you. You're like, but you're using it right now? Lan rolls his eyes. I thought you would take the obvious hint. What obvious hint? Landhouse. Look, I was trying to be nice, but you just weren't that good, babe. I don't often ring the same bell twice, and if I were going to consider it, you'd have to show me a better performance than that. Whoa. Holy shit. That's that, you guess. Your low is low. Your first time banging an alien and you couldn't even satisfy him. A little seed of worthlessness takes root inside you and germinates so explosively that it fills you up inside until there's basically nothing left. You die of shame instantly. Shame to death. What happens if we're loud? This video has gone on long enough. Maybe after we go through all the rest of the things, we'll like go back and explore some things. So if there are some curious options that you know of throughout this entire series, yes, the entire series, every volume, let me know. I'll make a sticky note and we'll go explore it. But, oh boy. But, that's it for today's stars. If you liked the video, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already to join our wonderful galaxy. Comment down below and I'll get back to you in some way or another. And I will see you for our next adventure, and hopefully it's less slutty. Remember, we're all made of the same cosmic dust, so be nice. Kate, love you, bye!